Happy Friday!
Oh, Lord. Glad you got me now.
I saw you earlier, honey. I
Oh,
said,
asshole
peekaboo. I was like, peekaboo. Yes, I was like, peekaboo, peekaboo,
Could be that
peekaboo.
kind of show. Shoot.
Yeah, I think Jen knows my ass better than me at this point.
Damn.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. Welcome, everyone to Friday. We made it. It is Friday. Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I am YouTubing your favorite Devil's Advocate, Jen. You can reach me on all social media platforms. On the Block with Jen, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. On the Block with Jen at Gmail. If you want to contact me for some business, don't go in there and ask me to marry you unless you got $1 million check for me. Gracias. Yes, that's how I'm doing it. All right, guys. So welcome. Tonight's gonna be spicy. It's gonna be spicy. Some people are gonna be triggered. You know the rules here. You can say whatever you want to say, right? Just make sure you keep everybody's name on your lips. We don't call people out of their names here. You can yell, you can scream, you can jump up and down, you could shake your laptop. That's okay too, right? We like passion here. But we usually pass the mic and also chat. Hold me down. I dropped the link and I will be pinning it to the top. You know, we welcome everyone here. If you want to not abort,
Is that
Reboard?
but
is that like an abortion, a re-abortion?
So that's what we didn't get it right the first time. Right.
No,
Yeah,
okay,
that one.
Right. So if you want to retort, if you want to contradict, if you want to argue, feel free to cam up. The link will be pinned to the top. Okay. Everyone's welcome here. Rule is you have to show your face, right? We like conversations better with faces. So you can cam up if you have a rebut for us. We welcome you. Help Mama keep the church lights on. Cash App on the Block with Jen. Thank you so much from the bottom of my widow cold heart for everyone who Cash Apps me after I'm off air. I appreciate you, and it means that you appreciate me. Of course, Cash App is if you want to be discreet. A lot of people don't like other people knowing where their money goes. If you don't give a damn who sees where your money goes, super chat us, and we will pull your comment on the screen like Jabari did. Hello, Jabari. Thank you for the first super chat of the evening. Jabari says, can't stay, working on another project, but wanted to drop some love and a smoothie to you. Thank you, Jabari. Jabari did buy me a smoothie. That's what my Cash App scroll says, buy me a smoothie. But you're really supporting the show, and I appreciate that. You don't have to do it, and you do. I truly appreciate you. Let's get this party started. We got a lot of fluff to cut through today, David. It's a lot of fluff before we get to the main topic. Welcome, Dolores Williams, Sally. Are you still getting the double sound, or are you good?
Oh, you mute.
The button. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Can we?
Back on mute.
It's me and my old laptop. Forgive me, because the new one I couldn't get right today.
We got you. We can hear you now. All right, guys.
Talking,
going back on.
so good.
Okay, there we go. We're back off mute.
All right, here we go. Hopefully I don't overheat either, but I got a little trick for this Mac tonight if it gets too hot. Okay. All right, guys. So let's get this party started. Lily, where can we find you, doll?
Well, you can find me. I'm Lily, and you can find me at YB Limited. That's the letter Y, the letter B, the word limited. That is the way it is spelled here on the screen. You can find me here on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and yes, on Instagram as well. I started my career as a makeup artist and then moved over into modeling and acting, and those roles led me here to the block with my team.
And I am musician and music producer Heron DeMarco. You can actually catch me here on YouTube under Heron.DeMarco, and you can also catch me on IG under Dangerous DeMarco.
And I am No Saint. You can catch me on YouTube and Instagram at Saint No Saint. That's st.nosaint. And I will pass the mic to Mr. David.
And I am Mr. David Hand. Spell out the Mr. We don't do abbreviations over on Instagram and now on Threads. 72 million subscribers. I am your New York City fashion runway model, New York Fashion Week guy, recovering from 35 years or so as a corporate creative director. And I will pass it on now to you, my dear.
That's you, Dolores. Uh-oh, the mute thing.
Me?
There you go.
Okay, you can hear me?
Unmuted too.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I am the unmuted Dolores Williams Sally, also known as D-Lo S. I am a actress, a model, a wife, a mom, entrepreneur, just all around, just wherever life leads me, I just go. Oh, you can follow me, Dolores Actress, on all social media, and also my business 424 Fashions. That's fashions with the Z, not the S, on all social medias, and including Thread as well.
Oh, nice. Dolores, feel free to throw it in the chat if you can see the chat, so people know where they can find you. And let me lower the volume on my phone because, Lily, don't people love calling us when we're live?
In texting and like I'm like the chat box works really well. The you know.
Yes. I tell people don't they
Yes.
do it. They think it's really cute. It's like, ooh, she's on. Let me see. They have this thing. Let me see her read my text while she's on. It's like it's not cute for me.
It's not.
It's very annoying for me actually. Don't
Because
text me while
we're
I
already
need
doing a million things at once. Like
right, and I need the text clear for when my team is having trouble backstage. They can reach me. Okay, sorry guys. Sorry, not sorry. Hit me after or before. You guys know when I'm on. You know when I'm on. Um, all right, so let's get through this flood. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody. Hit that like and subscribe on your way in. Chat, hold us down because the chat usually goes in lately. Y'all been making me proud lately. The chat
they
is like,
do.
okay, we have to go back here. We have to go back.
Is there new development or something?
And I mean, Forbes, it's in Forbes magazine. This is mainstream news now. Keke Palmer enjoying herself at the Usher concert with her butt cheeks out is now mainstream news. This is off the blogs, honey. This is mainstream news, okay? There's a huge war. They chased her baby daddy off of Twitter. If you guys are not up to speed, Keke Palmer, the actress, was at Usher's residency out here in Vegas, enjoying herself. Mama had on a little sheer dress, turned around, showed her butt cheeks, and everybody lost their minds. First and foremost, her baby daddy. Baby daddy was like, "You're a mother," and all hell broke loose, right? Since then, Keke and Darius, her baby daddy, have unfollowed each other on social media, and he also deleted all her pictures. So he showed her. Um, well, we'll see where this goes from here, but Keke is completely capitalizing. She's selling these really cute sweatshirts that say "I'm a mother."
Ooh.
And another T-shirt that says "I'm Stevie" to the bullshit, which is her pretending she's blind, like Stevie Wonder, haha,
Wow.
right? That. So, hey, I want to get the "I'm a mother" sweatshirt. So, listen, she's capitalizing off the moment. I don't blame her. That's what she should do, right? She's getting a lot of attention, and I think at this point in entertainment, you'd be a complete idiot not to capitalize. But what say you about this situation, panel, and how crazy it's gotten? Is it a slow news day? I mean, I know the Supreme Court fucked everybody in the ass last week, but Keke Palmer, her ass is the one that we need to pay attention to.
I think she needs to. I think she needs to rethink her moves a little bit because
Me too.
that young man. No, that young man can actually, based on the laws of that state, that young man can claim that kid, run out the goddamn house, and take Keke for child support. That can happen.
Oh, I thought you meant she was selling
No, I'm talking
sweatshirts.
about the law. He's still a
She was
kid.
selling
You know what I
sweatshirts
mean?
in the
No,
middle of
he's
summer.
still I'm just saying. You know what I mean? There's money involved in here, and she'll have to if he takes her to court, she'll have to come out her pockets for him and whatever other woman he decides to lay up with.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait a minute. I usually let the mic go around, but I'm already perturbed. What is he going to take her to court and say? What is he going to say? She's unfit because she's selling sweatshirts?
I'm the primary caregiver of the child.
Where'd you go? Where'd you get that from, though? Where'd you get that from?
On the whole him being on the internet, being at home with the kid, and everybody agreeing that he left his job.
She went out. She went out.
Home dad.
Wait a minute. Is that intel or is that people talking shit online? She
That's
went to.
That's intel based on the situation. He said that he left his job to be a stay-at-home dad, Or to
I
have
need a
her-
source. I need a source because he didn't have a job. He was a personal trainer.
I'll
He was.
go get it. I mean, it's still
was
a job. Whether you
No, I'm saying that he didn't leave a job. He decided not to train anymore. It's different than I mean,
Look,
I need a source.
I will get you the information.
Get me a source because I'm ready to fight tonight. I'm fighting. I'm ready to fight tonight.
Hey, if that's the case, if we can do that, then hey, it is what it is.
Listen, first of all, okay, as far as I know and the world knows, Keke went out on a girls' night out. She is a no mommy, and that is allowed, sir.
Well, hey, man, that is allowed, and according to the state of wherever they are, it's some other things are also allowed, and if you can make it happen, hey, it is what it is.
I'd like to see him afford the attorney, and I'll pass the mic.
Hey, I still think he's a sucker. But since he is a sucker, he'll most likely go out like that.
Passing the mic.
Okay, well, you know what No's saying about the sweatshirt thing? These young people love sweatshirts in the middle of the summer.
Yes, they do.
So
she's
doing good.
We're in the middle of an El Nino that's making the temperature of the globe the highest it's ever been.
I know.
Ask Jim about
I know.
And where are we going in August? The freaking desert.
We're running it like we're like no thing. We running towards the fire.
Hydrate.
We running towards the fire. Like
I
no thing.
realized that the other day. Like, wow, I chose to go to the desert in one of the hottest seasons.
In the hottest month. In the hottest month.
And the hottest year on record. And the hottest year on record.
Yes.
Well, can I say something about this, Keke?
Please do, because the panel's stuck.
Because I'm, we want to say it's none of our business, it's their business, but he put it on Twitter, so it made it our business.
Oh, yes.
But what she wears does not determine if she's a good mother or not. I mean, saying that she's a mother, I think she knew that when she pushed the baby out, that she's now a mother. So he got in his feelings, and instead of him being a man and waiting until she gets home or calling her and communicating with her, he told the world. So he has to sit back and take what we give him at this point. And while she still make those coins, and he probably still home, blocked by the way, with the baby. So he's just mad.
My thing is, he put him again. I blame him. He put himself in that position, and if he does decide to leave, it's like you're gonna have to ask her for a loan, maybe to leave. Like what is this allowance? Like, what are you doing? Like, well, any man that is fine laying up under some goddamn woman and your name ain't on the lease and you putting your name on the strudel and the goddamn, the milk, you deserve whatever the fuck you get, man. You deserve it. And that's it. And personally though, I'll say this one thing. I think they had issues before this.
They did.
Oh, of course.
They had it.
Of course.
That's actually on record. They had a tumultuous relationship since they met. And I said before, he's a guy that escaped the friend zone. Okay, knocked it up on that. You knocked the dust off on that one lonely weekend. A lot of guys get lucky like that. They're in the friend zone. They're that friend, that whatever. And then, she's hot and horny and depressed one night, and one thing leads to another. And then 9 months later, here we're fighting over a baby. It happens.
Right. Because I feel like the word relationship is a little too strong for what they have. I don't believe that they ever had like a strong real relationship. Right. It was, I just think it kind of happened. It's like, okay, we got a kid together. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Well, you ain't got much going on. You mind staying home with the baby? Like, I'm thinking that's how it kind of went.
You see how the women are talking right now? You see the look on their faces, guys. You don't want to be. Wait 1 second, ma'am. You don't want to be the bag that women grab just because it's like, I don't got any other bag to go with this outfit. Get this shit to do. Fuck it.
So
you don't want to be. Give me that one. Okay, you don't want to be that because they'll always remind you that you were. Give me that one.
Dolores.
Well, in this case, she didn't remind him. He told us. You know what I'm saying? Because if he didn't go and do what he did on Twitter, we wouldn't have known that he was this, he had this little issue with this little man syndrome going on. Like, I don't know what that was. Like, literally Twitter, like, for real? You couldn't even do it on Instagram? But the point is, like, we wouldn't have known. So how is it our fault? Because we saying this little boy, basically he just bit off more than he could chew. And he really did this thing where they say baby mama. He did this baby daddy thing that was so unnecessary. And it had nothing to do with the dress. She just got too comfortable with Usher and he got mad. So
Hold
I
up.
mean, he ended it for them. I really did. He ended it for them. Like he did it.
So the classic case of not playing your position. You will lose your position if you don't play your position. Thank you for this super chat. Donovan the Hobbyist. Donovan the Hobbyist says, great topic. I'm headed out. I'll catch the replay, which in Don language, that means I'm going to hang out and keep talking my shit. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Don.
So on the gossipscoop.com, which has won many Chamber of Commerce awards in Wichita.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it.
They sound so prestigious.
According to insiders, Darius is ready to ditch his football and modeling careers as he to be a stay-at-home dad for the son, and since he's a free agent and isn't tied to any club or company yet. So there you go, Jen.
So you thought I was making this shit up?
Oh my
No,
God.
well, it says since he's a free agent and isn't tied to any club or company, says no job to me. A dude who said that came to me saying, what do you do now? Oh, well, I'm currently a free agent, not tied to any club or company. I'd be like, okay, I
And
gotta go.
what was that source, David? So just so I can for my research.
Oh, the gossipscoop.com.
Got it. Okay. Gossipscoop.com.
I'm getting that tattooed on my arm tomorrow. But yeah, and I mean, just look, airing it out on Twitter, come the fuck on. You know, first of all, that's a private conversation, but it's 2023. And secondly, like, I don't know, you know, maybe get to know each other and communicate about that. You know, if you are in a relationship or you are giving someone that pass to tell you how to dress in public, maybe that's something you should talk about, especially when you're dating a enormous celebrity, you know? I don't know.
Right,
I'm a talker.
Young man, if you happen to be watching by any chance, your baby mama got an ass now. You ain't putting that.
This actually makes the most sense, honestly. Tristan says, I feel they were broken up prior and she did the motherfucker, I'm Keke Palmer.
Ooh, that's a possibility.
She put on the fuck 'em dress.
Yes.
None of that.
We all got those.
Possibility.
We all got those in the closet.
I've seen a couple of you in them. Coming to me and leaving me.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay.
Let me tell you that revenge ride is good. That revenge ride is good.
Listen, brothers, when I see the revenge ride go down, I just go ahead and just follow a motherfucker. We just ain't even gonna go through the long, drawn out situation.
Yeah, listen.
What we doing, no problem.
Listen. One time I took, let me entertain the people real quick, Lily. One time my revenge was so bad. What did I do? This guy tried to fuck me over and I said, oh, you know that millionaire that you hate that I know that intimidates you? I went revenge rolled him, took pictures and sent them to his email. Like, this is the guy you were worried about? Well, look at it. Yeah, I'm not the one. I'm not. I'm not the one.
That's just cruelty. That's just
I'm not the one. You better think twice, long and hard. I will destroy you. I will destroy. I was like, this is the guy you was worried about, right? Yeah, I'm not. Don't play with me.
Over there making noises with him. You ain't making noises with the other dude.
You got to. You
right.
must.
He ain't never heard that. He ain't never heard that noise before.
You got a whole look on, like, yeah,
right.
everything
He has to
is
go
different.
like this. He has to like twist his phone and everything. Like, she never did that shit to me. Like, yeah, you got it. Yeah, no, don't play with me. No, Saint, what you got on this? What you feeling about Keke?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think let me get out. I'm thinking they must be in California. Is that where they're?
I'm assuming, right? I don't think Keke would live anywhere else. I'm sure they.
I mean, her nowhere else.
I think there's probably common law there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long you would have to be with someone to have common law go into place. I know there's common law in California.
Yeah, but they only met round about 2021, 2020.
Yeah, I'm not
2020
sure what he would
20.
get, but he could probably get some alimony. He probably could get some alimony. Just for a little while. It wouldn't be long, I don't think. I wouldn't imagine. I don't think he would win custody of the kids, though.
No, not at all. He'd have to prove her unfit.
Yeah,
The Usher
I don't think
concert.
that's happening. He doesn't. If he's not working and she's got all the funds and she can
Yeah.
hire whoever, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. But yeah, sweaters are not are the the hoodies are probably not the best time to be coming out with right now. Might want to wait till December, but.
But no, Saint, these young
No,
people
listen,
love
I'm
hoodies.
ready.
I'm telling you.
Not only young people, I'm like already ready. I want to order 2, one for me and one for my daughter. I'm getting them sweatshirts.
See?
Well, he better get a retailer's license because California is not a state that recognizes common law, and he has no rights to.
Never mind.
So he needs to be a
That's a
licensed
shock.
sweatshirt in
shock.
August
This
agent.
is why. This is
Open
why,
up a sweatshirt
man,
stand in Phoenix.
This is why you play your position, man. You should have just burped that baby, ate his food, kissed her when she came back home.
There you go.
And key with her all the way to the end of the night, man.
Right.
That's it, man.
There
But
you
I
go.
seen her. I seen her with more revealing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, why now? You know, like why now?
It was Usher.
And
It was
why
Usher.
on-
Yeah, it wasn't the dress.
No, because he posted more revealing stuff of her. He posted stuff with her and thongs and stuff like that. So it was Usher. It wasn't the dress.
And
You see,
Usher
because
can
when
get
he
you,
was showing
Usher,
it, though,
Usher will get you pregnant with a fist bump.
yeah, when he was
You got-
showing
I
it,
understand.
when he was showing it, it was to brag that look at my girl. When she was showing it, it was to show Usher. That's the difference.
You gotta understand something. I'm gonna put y'all on to some game real quick. You know what I mean? He don't really got them popping, obviously. And let me tell you something. Light-skinned niggas are very sensitive when they ain't got no.
Shots fired.
Light-skinned
Y'all listening? Light skins. Y'all gonna take that in the chat?
Don, you still here? Don, you still here?
Light-skinned niggas in their mind, it's never off season. It's never off season in their mind. It never should be a slow roll. So she went out there. He's popping now. She's whatever. Usher got the baby oil on the stomach. He's on the jumbotron. She's showing the hips and things of that nature. And he's a light-skinned dude burping babies, and he's broke as fuck. In his mind, he probably just got upset and said, "Hey, fuck it." He lost his shit, and he went to Twitter, which is basically the projects of the internet. You all, business out there, and black people. One thing about black people, you don't make a fool out of yourself in front of us.
But
Threads is the Upper East Side, by the way.
Let's make it clear, going back to what David said and anyone else, a lot of people saying, why Twitter? Why Twitter? Why go online? Why go online? I spoke about this before. We are in a new world order. These things are attached to us, right? It is part of us now. So we wake up, we have a thought. We no longer turn to our friend or our spouse. We turn here. This is part of us. And people are afraid of, they're going to put chips in our brains. The chip is already there. Okay. It's already there. That is why you wake up in the morning, you check it. That is why you check it throughout the day. And that is why you check it the last thing before you close your widow eyes, you check it. It is part of you. It doesn't have to be a chip in your brain. So when you wake up now, it is, I said before, it's more gratifying to get people in your business than turn to your spouse and communicate. That Usher thing made me feel kind of funny. No, this is the new world order. These kids are young. Let's not forget. We're all sitting high and mighty, perched, okay, on our thrones. But we're talking about 20-year-olds. We're talking about 20-year-olds. Kiki's not 30 yet. I don't know how old the kid is, but he looks young as well. So we all, you know how we get high and mighty on the block. And I got to remind y'all, okay, we pushing 50 on this bitch. Some of us 60. But these are kids that we're talking about at the end of the day. All right, so let's close on that. I have another story here. So Miss Britney, what the fuck happened to you, Spears?
God.
I gotta throw my work out now. She's about to take my story.
Oh God.
You know what? You know what?
Oh.
No. You do it.
This is the one from yesterday.
You do it. I'll sit back, and if I hear a gap, I'm jumping in there. So you better cover it all.
So as Jen mentioned, from my desk out of Las Vegas, Britney Spears was allegedly assaulted by the director of team security for the NBA team San Antonio Spurs security. Britney, the 42-year-old, was assaulted by Damian Smith, the director of security. As I just said, the 42-year-old Spears was entering the same restaurant as this year's #1 overall pick, Victor Wembanyama. Spears noticed Wembanyama, the 7'5" tall center, first-round pick out of France. She went over and put her hand on his shoulder. At that point, Smith reacted and forcefully knocked Spears' hand off of his shoulder into her face, and she went back to her table, sat down, and was probably really embarrassed. The security guard did go back over there. He apologized. He didn't know who she was, which is also an ego bruise.
Wow.
The police were called, and Britney Spears, I believe, as far as I know, has said she would like to press charges.
Okay, so let me throw in a little more. Let me throw
in some color commentating.
Okay, let me throw a little sazon on it, a little adobo, a little bit.
I know.
Okay, so no, you were great. You do the sports the way the sports is supposed to go.
Okay.
Okay, so to reiterate, this boy is 19 years old. Let's start there. He is 19. He is a child. Okay, he is also 7'5". Did you hear that number? He is 7'5". Run it back. How the fuck did Britney Spears put her hand on his shoulder? Because you know how to break the case down.
Get scouted by the NBA. Maybe she was trying to get scouted.
Okay.
She might as well be at this point.
Let's run that back. And this is why I got triggered. As a mama, I got triggered by this. First of all, she's weaponizing her fucking white tears, and you know how I feel about them Karen ass bitches, okay?
Oh,
this
baby.
Listen, this boy, oh baby. Okay, so this boy has not been in Vegas a hot day, Lily. Not a hot 24 hours. He's a boy. He is 19 years old. First round draft, right? Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, number one pick. Number one pick in this year's
Number
draft.
one pick. That means that he is the NBA's golden egg. You damn right that security was like, bitch! You don't touch this! I'll get in trouble if you touch that. Back the fuck up. So now for her, this is why I got triggered, because she's not only complaining about the security that pushed her out the way, right? And let me tell you, that's the type of security I would want. That's the type of security you hire, right? I'm upset about it, or triggered, I would say, is because she's throwing this boy's name into it. He hasn't been here a hot second, and now she's already painting him in a certain fucking light. And if I was his mama, there would have been a press conference. I would have been like, everybody gather around, because I'm about to talk to you, motherfucker. Let's go. Not my son, bitch. So I have Britney's statement, and I want you to see how she worded it, which is something white women do a lot. I feel unsafe, right? I'm gonna read you what the fuck she said, all right? Read you what the fuck she said. His mama and his daddy should be doing a press conference right now. Hello, Mr. Justin. That's what we need. Another white face. How are you?
The block is officially gentrified.
We need to see George up here, and we'll start making rules in your neighborhood.
Yeah,
Right.
Listen, are we gonna get a Starbucks? That's my question. Okay. So I'm gonna read this shit here that Miss Britney was talking about. And whoever's watching, don't fall in love with me just yet, because you're gonna hate me in about 15 minutes. You guys get super excited about me and be like, what that bitch said? Yeah, don't pull your dicks out just yet. Don't put the lotion on it. Wait a minute. So this is what Britney said. She says, traumatic experiences are not new to me. And I've had my fair share of them. I was not prepared for what happened to me last night. I recognized an athlete in my hotel lobby as I was heading to dinner. I later went to a restaurant at a different hotel and saw him again. I decided to approach him and congratulate him on his success. Bitch, not necessary. No. He doesn't know who you are.
He knows, and he knows what he got.
Okay. It was really loud, so I tapped him on the shoulder. Bitch, he's 7'5". He's 7'5". I need video surveillance.
She did a running jump for that one.
Right.
She must have.
There's
She
video.
stand on a chair. Did someone throw her up so she can tap him on the shoulder? Okay,
She pumped up her shoes.
I shall continue. Okay. It was really loud, so I tapped him on the shoulder to get his attention. I am aware of the player's statement where he mentions I grabbed him from behind, but I simply tapped him on the shoulder. His security then backhanded me in the face.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Looking back in front of a crowd. Bitch, so you're admitting you were in a crowd. Okay. Nearly knocking me down, and causing my glasses to fall off my face. I get swarmed by people all the time. I'm Britney, bitch. In fact,
You added that part in.
maybe.
You had to.
That was
In fact, that night I was swarmed by a group of at least 20 fans, just to let you know I'm still popping. My security team didn't hit any of my fans. I didn't add that. She said that shit. This story is super embarrassing to share with the world, but it's out there already. However, I think it's important to share this story and to urge people in the public eye to set an example and treat all people with respect. Physical violence, bitch. Press conference. You are not going to, wait a minute, Justin. You are not going to talk about my son and add words like physically violent. You were feeling unsafe. Press conference, bitch. ESPN, let's go. Charles Barkley, everybody, get in the room. We're not doing this to my son. We're not doing this. Bitch goes on to say, physical violence is happening too much. She's comparing that, okay? Physical violence is happening too much in this world, often behind closed doors. I stand with all the victims. Now the bitch is a victim of domestic violence. I stand with all the victims, and my heart goes out to you all because we're the same, you see. I have yet to get a public apology from the player. He's none of your business, bitch. None of your business. That kid did not know what was going on behind him, okay? I have yet, or down there, because he's 7'5", okay?
Right.
I have yet to get a public apology from the player, his security, or their organization. Bitch wants an apology from the NBA. Okay. I hope they will. I cherish the tremendous amounts of love and support I'm receiving at the moment. Thank you to the Las Vegas Police Department and the detectives who are detecting for all their support.
So
Detecting.
I just want to add something. So he didn't touch her, so I don't know why she would want an apology from him. However, when she says the organization, it was the organization's security, with San Antonio Spurs security. But at the same time, in this day and age, and we don't have to, we can say 15, 20 years ago, Steffi Graf got stabbed by a fan.
I remember that.
Chris Rock got slapped. Another fan went up on the comedian. I can't remember his name.
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
You can't take chances. And she was like any other fan in that group. And she did have a crowd around her at one point. I read that in that article, in the article that I did read before I made the story, wrote my part in. But so she was like any other fan. She doesn't realize that Britney Spears 20 years ago, she's still famous, but she's not recognizably famous to everybody, especially people that like you said, are 19 or 20 years old person.
Yeah.
Right, recognizable. I mean, right, exactly.
Did she have her permanent eyeliner on?
I have no clue. But
was the matted blonde wig on? Did she have the matted blonde wig? Because I'd recognize that matted blonde wig.
But I was told we might have relations, so I don't want to talk too bad about Britney.
You might have what? Relations?
We might be related.
I thought you meant something else.
Different thing.
I'm talking about like relations. No, I'm not gonna have relations with Britney. Okay. But I don't want to talk too bad about it. But no, she you got to get expected. That's what security's there to do, is to protect. Especially they're gonna protect assets, to the organization like that. Oh, I'm not home, by the way. That's not my place.
Who's got that dog?
Mute your mics, guys. Mute your
Somebody got a
mics
dog going crazy.
from the husbands, the wives, the dogs. Let's keep them off. Let's keep them
I
off
just
the
watched the
stream.
video. I just watched the video. I didn't even know that
I'm
this was
trying
happening.
to
Like,
mute my mic.
yo,
Whose dog is that?
Okay, it's muted.
all right. So I just watched the video. I had no idea about this, right? And I watched it, and she came up from behind. She went to reach. She didn't even touch him. She reached up, and the security guard kind of did like a backwards sort of swing to like stop her, and her own hand hit her face. That's what
they were saying. Okay, wait. See that? I didn't know that video existed. I would have played it for you guys.
Yeah. It's like just a few seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And
so was she all like,
no, you see her just from behind. But here's the thing: she's washed up, so obviously she's jumping on this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe someone she didn't even think of it. It was probably someone, because that's too clever for her at this point. Her brain,
I was thinking the same
her brain
thing,
is
Justin.
scrambled eggs at this point. Like between all the drugs and the like she was like what, home arrest or a psychological,
a lot of things.
She was stuck in home prison for like years. And no, and I'm not saying it's like all her fault, or that there was just a lot of psychological things going on with her. She's cooked. Okay. No longer a celebrity, really. And had this been somebody who was like, say, prominent of today, right? Then it would make sense, where this person actually had social clout, they had fame, or they had notoriety, and they're saying, hey, wait a second, I was just coming to say hello to this person and congratulate them, and their security went off. That was completely uncalled for. I'd like a public apology. But this is coming from Britney Spears. Like, we're not in the early 2000s anymore, right?
True.
I just want to say that white women ain't shit. Somewhere
why we gotta go there.
somewhere her father is sipping a Mai Tai with a clear conscience, knowing that he tried to save all of us from this bullshit. No, the free Britney and the campaign of victimhood, it had to happen. So the white man, he said, you know what, fuck this shit. We're gonna loose on the world. And now this is what we have. We have this weird ex-meth head, probably current meth head, doing all this weird twerking shit. I remember, you know what I mean, Jay? We done seen this woman gyrate.
She does it, all these weird dances.
You know what I mean? She's slurring her speech. Her eyeliner is just, I don't know what the fuck is going on. She's just a mess. And clearly she can't take care of herself. Clearly she needs a sane human being in her life. Well, she's a train wreck, and we love train wrecks, so here we are.
I just need her to crash out another window with an umbrella again. I'm just waiting for another umbrella moment at this point. But no, I'm with Justin with the sense that immediately I was thinking, I don't feel like Britney is behind the publicity with this and the lawsuit and stuff. She can't put together two sentences. Like, she hasn't done anything for herself since 2008, right? And she's been through so many things. She's just a complete mess at this point. I really think this is a cash grab or some type of grab from her team, whoever those people are at this point. She's probably at home like, I'm suing her.
I'm suing somebody again.
You know,
my dad. I told my dad.
I agree with you.
Prince of the Moon. The girl's been through a lot. No, Prince of the Moon. Britney Spears has not been through a lot. The children of Somalia have been through a lot.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Spears is a rich, spoiled white woman who hasn't. I still would need footage of that crowd that was forming around her. This broad ain't seen maybe a crowd of dealers, maybe, I don't know, but this woman hasn't been around a crowd of actual fans since 2001. Since Obama was running for Senate. So no.
I disagree.
What you got, Dolores? What you got?
I disagree with Lily. Just fire her PR, because that was a bad PR move. It really was. It was just a way to make her noticeable and a victim, and it was really a really bad move, like super bad.
What was releasing the statement?
Wait, are
Yeah,
you saying that she was instructed like go up and try to like get his attention?
No,
knowing
I'm saying the state.
Like get the hell out of here, woman.
I'm saying the statement itself. Like, I think she knew what she was doing, of course. I think she saw this man and she was adamant she wanted his attention because everyone's supposed to know who she is. But once it happened and she was embarrassed, I think it was a PR move to write this statement to make her seem like the victim in the matter.
I'll go further though. Yeah, Justin, I think that someone told her that guy is the first round draft pick and that guy over there. I don't think that Britney, as much of an airhead as she is, she was sitting there and knew, oh shit, look, is Victor Wem over there? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. I think someone said, yo, Britney, that's such and such. That's the kid that blah, blah. She was like, who, where? I got the video though. I'm gonna play it for you guys.
Okay.
I really do think someone tapped her on her dizzy shoulder and was like, that kid is blah, blah, blah. And you can tell by the way she's running up to him, like, who that? Okay, let me go over there.
That's what I'm saying. I watched her body language, how she's like trotting up, like almost as like someone's like, all right, Brittany, go there, like, go on, you can do it. And she's like, okay.
Right. And I'm like, you're not going to get pressed on my time, you little bitch. I don't play with these. I don't play with these heifers.
It was just way too complex for her at this point.
Yeah, it is. That's why I was like, I don't. She cannot tie her shoes at this point. So
right. So I'll play this video, and then No Saint has something else on his disc. I'm like, don't play.
David, was that your only story?
Lily, you think she wears
I had a
Crocs
story.
Now? No Saint.
Oh,
yeah, No Saint. Okay, let me just take down the banner so you can see the video. Let's play this video.
Roll that beautiful Bing footage.
Hey, look, it's me.
See, it's like a backhand like movement.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
They had no idea who she was. They had no idea. I mean, it's the same thing that happened to Busta Rhymes. You running up behind them, they don't know who you are. It's gonna play back. It's like, oh my god.
Look, there's the crowd. It's like 4 people who were already there.
I want to pop her stylist in the mouth.
Oh, they are long gone. Whenever Britney dresses herself, it's a wrap.
Fuck. She going fishing?
See, there you go. He literally just lifted his arm. Lifted his arm.
It was
watch. Watch this. Watch.
He's like, no, it was more of a block. Well, no, he swung it back. He swung it back, but that was her hands. That was her own hands.
Oh my god!
I'm Britney Spears, and I would like to file a police report.
It reminds me in elementary school when you say, "Hey, kid, hold your hand up," and you go.
Is your hand bigger than your face?
But you know what? Yeah. But you know what? It's no different. I mean, we've done that at the clubs with our girlfriends. Like we walk by the crowd and then a guy's trying to reach out and then we move his arm. I know I've done it. So that was the type of thing. He wasn't really looking to see who it was. She looked like a crazy white woman, I'm sure.
Yep.
And the kid didn't even know what was going on behind him. He has to watch his head doesn't hit the damn ceiling. And the entrance is the shit. He's not, you know what I mean? So, and that's my issue with her including him. It had nothing to do with him. This kid hasn't even been here a good 24 hours. You know what I mean? That's the issue I have. And because he's such like, you know what I mean? He's money. I'm surprised the NBA is like, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you can't already try to put something on him. Like she's putting, the violence that we suffer and the violence behind closed doors. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You acted like a groupie and got treated like a groupie. Moving on. I saw him at a restaurant, but you had no idea who that kid is. You know how many tall people are in Vegas?
Running it really around? Did look like somebody set her up for that shit.
Didn't it?
I'm telling you, if you look at Britney on any IG post, you can tell this girl don't know who anybody is at this point. So, oh god,
and she's gonna know the first draft pick of fucking them. Really. Really?
I mean, I didn't even know who he was.
Right. She was really out there running around in them Dolly Parton boots, man. Like,
listen.
No, she's the worst.
She's the worst. Whenever she has to dress herself, and her tracks are gonna always show.
Oh God.
Always. I have never not seen them damn tracks ever.
Whatever that top was from the Sesame Street Live collection, like what the fuck?
She's gonna always wear that too. She's
And
gonna
some
always
yoga
have the
pants.
Yep.
She look like
Horrible,
a
horrible.
with her makeup.
Right. All right. No Saint has something else from that desk. What do you got from your desk? No Saint?
Yes. So today in El Paso, Texas, Patrick Cruz was convicted in federal court to 90 consecutive life sentences for the murder of 23 people at a Walmart. Cruz's drove 11 hours from Allen, Texas to El Paso with the intent to kill as many Latino people as possible. The shooting started in the parking lot of the El Paso Walmart. Cruz was heard saying, "Go back to your homeland." Cruz still faces a Texas state trial where the DA said that the death penalty will be pursued.
Right. I don't even remember that shooting. There's so many. I don't remember that one.
Isn't that just remarkable?
You got to make an example out of them. The Latino vote is important next year.
Well,
yeah, I don't remember who was that one. Which one was it? What was his name?
His name was Patrick Cruzes. So Crusius.
And he drove for hours.
11 hours. He lived 11 hours. And my whole thing is when we talk, and we've said this several times on the show, people say, "Oh, people are just saying so." The politicians, they're just saying it. No, people are listening. When you sit there and scapegoat a particular people, there are crazy people that are going to act on it. And that's why when people say, well, you know, whatever, I'll use DeSantis's name, but you know who I'm talking about. When they say things like, you know, we need to build the wall, they're taking our jobs and all this kind of garbage. People are listening and looking for a reason why their life's so shitty. And then they go ahead and drive 11 hours and decide they're going to murder all these people because I guess you could tell who was illegal and who wasn't. And what's really crazy about El Paso, well, not crazy, what's really factual about El Paso is most of the people there are from Mexican descent because that's where their families have been for hundreds of years.
Right.
So it's kind of, people don't.
Pre-America.
But the crackers will cracker, don't Saint.
Look, listen,
you know it's a shame. Wait, you know it's a shame. I pulled this guy's picture up. I swear to you, I've never seen his face before. I actually thought who you were talking about was the other shooter that was live streaming like a video. It looked like a video game when he was shooting.
Yeah,
that's what I thought you were talking about.
That was in Buffalo.
Right,
Yeah.
but I pull up this guy. I've never seen this guy.
Yeah,
and then when you said Walmart shooter, I thought it was the Walmart shooter who worked at Walmart. That's how many of these there are.
You're right. But this one was, I remember it. It happened probably around, maybe it might have been a little over a year ago it happened. And the fact that he was going there hunting, basically, just kind of like the Buffalo mass shooter, looking for minorities to kill. But this guy was committed because he drove 11 hours to do it.
And I'm glad you said that because, again, it's the radicalization.
Yes.
And people on YouTube do it. And this is why I'm the red flag girl. That's why I say red flag them, because they keep talking, you know what I mean, to crowds of people. And then they work those people up. And they're usually sitting in their ivory towers. They're usually sitting there like, hey, I didn't send people in the Capitol. I just said, it wasn't me. Right? That usually happens. But have to watch the language. RIP to them poor souls. This is disgusting. And I mean, killing him doesn't even matter, but I mean, it's good they're going to kill him. But I mean, that's a lot of lives he took with him.
Well, he still has to be tried in federal court. I mean, in state court. But,
he's going to get the death
Texas
penalty.
Tries him pretty quick. So.
Yeah. They're going to throw him in the oil. They're going to throw him in the oil.
Yeah.
There you go.
He was 21 at the time of the shooting. It was in 2019. And
how did this one get past me?
Because we can't keep up with our
because there's so many, Jen, for real.
There's so many.
I don't even recall this one myself.
Yeah, because I'm like, cruises. That's horrible. Oof. I'm not even gonna lie. I was in Walmart the other day. You know, you guys know I'm packing, but I was like, let's see, what corner would I go to so I could shoot back if I had to, right? Because it's not like I would. No, listen, it's not like I would confront someone with a fucking AK, right? I'm not that crazy, but I'm like, I was in a space where I had no choice but to, I'm like, what could I use as barricades? This is how we're thinking at Walmart.
Right, seriously.
This is how we're fucking thinking at Walmart.
Yeah. Time to get your close quarters training, Jen.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, I got a good friend, Carrie Trainer, who's an excellent gun trainer and self-defense trainer, and the whole like bleeding out. He does it. He's an all one-stop shop. He's coming out to Nevada. And I asked him, like, you know what I mean? He's coming out. He does a tour, like training people. And I asked him, like, how much is the course? And he was like, get out of here. You my people. Nothing for you. And I was like, he privileged. So,
Yeah, I know what I know what you're saying, Jen. I when I'm on a plane, I'll count the rows to the exit door in case the cabin fills up with smoke. I need to know where the exit is. I'll
always sit at the exit
same
row.
thing.
I'll stay. Well, if I can, I will. I'll sit behind a car like so many feet in case someone comes behind me and tries to block me. And I'm always.
This is how we're thinking. This is crazy. We all got PTSD now.
I always sit at the emergency exit window on the train. I never sit with my back to the door at the restaurant.
Never.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna have a problem then. We're all gonna be all be with our backs against the wall. What's up, Jen? What's up?
How
you doing, David?
News anchors. Hey, bro.
Everyone's gonna be sitting with their backs against the wall.
Seriously.
Can draw straws who's sitting with their back to the door.
I never sit in the front of the plane, nor do I do first class. Because if a plane goes down, most likely everyone who's closest to the front dies first.
If the plane's going down anyway, everybody's going to die. It doesn't matter where you sit.
Oh, you're talking fractions of seconds there.
No. For probability's sake, it has been stated that if the plane were to go down, if you survive it, you're most likely in the back of the plane.
Yeah, that's been something. I'm not sure if that's been proven, but that's been around since I remember them talking about that when I was a kid. So.
What does the fireman say?
It's undetermined.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I mean, the people that went in the World Trade Center, they all died. So,
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yeah. Well, if you are in one of those big planes and you do happen to hit a building like the Pentagon or Twin Towers, you might survive because the plane will just vanish.
That's true.
But he's here all week, guys.
Remember to tip your waitress.
Yeah, the waitresses are working hard. Okay, so this story, moving on. No one else has anything from their desk before I move on?
Not tonight.
Okay, all right, good. So we got plenty.
That's why I didn't bring anything.
Blackfishing versus Latina fishing.
Is this like catfishing, but for like brown and black people?
That sounds like a white man's dream.
Which shall I choose today?
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
I'm gonna go fishing. Let me see what I got. Oh, I gotta be a Latina.
Unhand me. Okay. So blackfishing is something that became popular online. Basically, short definition, white girls tanning, trying to look, quote unquote, black, right? So they was like, oh, you're blackfishing. But I don't know. I sit back and I ponder and I watch these girls, right? That they're talking about are blackfishing. And I'm like, that's Latina fishing. They look Latin. They don't look black. When you think of a whole community of people, I'm like, they actually look like they're Latina fishing. But you guys judge for yourself. I have a video because there's a girl who most recently, she's pretty famous. She's Travis. What the fuck is his name? Help me out, guys. Travis Barker's daughter. Travis Barker is lately dating and just put a gut of himself inside of Kourtney Kardashian. She's pregnant. So his daughter is now rapping. And she's catching a lot.
This little thing? Oh God.
So
Sorry,
she's
I'm just looking at pictures.
She's just watch your mic, man. So she's being accused of blackfishing, right? But I'm looking at her and I'm like, she doesn't, I wouldn't look at her and say, oh, you're trying to look like a black woman. You guys be the judge. I'm just here to start shit.
Travis Barker's daughter is under fire for blackfishing because she went from this to this. You see, she didn't just dye her hair. She went from her usual blonde hair look to a long black wig, full face makeup with bold lip liner, and false eyelashes. And that's why some people believe she's trying to look like a black person. But that's not all, because aside from blackfishing, she's also accused of something else, stealing Ice Spice's signature look just for changing her black long wig to bright orange like Ice Spice. And of course, this caused a stir on TikTok, making people wonder, why is she trying so hard to change her looks? This is Alabama, Travis Barker's teenage daughter, and ever since she was born, she's been exposed to fame.
Okay, so here's my question. Everybody ready to get triggered? Yeah! The triggers are late. Okay.
Is there a bell for this?
There's no
we
bell
got
for that yet.
Oh, okay.
We don't have our bell.
We got the race bell, but is this a race bell or ethnicity?
Yes.
This is race.
This is race.
All right, then fuck it. Let's do race. I thought this was an ethnicity bell and I didn't have them. Well, Lily, here we are. Okay. So this is what I see. And you guys could jump in and tell me, no, Jen, that's not it. This is what I see. I see a girl who's trying to look like black girls that are trying to look like Latin girls. Or at least white adjacent.
Okay, because that's where I was about to go with it. That's where I was going to go with it.
I'll pass the mic. And wait, just to be sure, because I want us to grasp, I want us to dissect the fuck out of this before we get into the right topic. I want you to take another look.
Travis Barker's daughter is under fire for blackfishing because she went from this to this. You see, she didn't just dye her hair. She went from her usual blonde hair look to a long black wig, full face makeup with bold lip liner, and false eyelashes. And that's why some people believe she's trying to look like a black person. But that's not all, because aside from blackfishing, she's also accused of something else, stealing Ice Spice's signature look just for changing her black long wig to bright orange like Ice Spice. And of course, this caused a stir.
That looks like the quintessential Latina in the hood. I grew up in the South Bronx, okay? You go to California, that looks like the Chicanas with the dark black lip liner, with the long hair, and that is what I see. So that's why I said she's trying to look like the black girls that are trying to look like the Latin girls. But I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, so that's where I was going to go with it.
Go ahead, Lily. I want to hear this.
Yeah, I was going to say, what she's doing is ratchet fishing, right?
That's what I was thinking.
All right, but who's doing the Latin fishing?
We call it urban, Lily. God, what is urban?
Urban fishing. Urban fishing. Pardon me. Let me have some class. But I feel like a lot of these black girls, like the celebrities, they're Latin fishing because they get lighter every year. Okay. And they getting more spicy Latina every year. Because I'm just like, oh, delicious. Oh, wow, girl. Hola.
Yeah. You like hola.
You know? Like, oh, wow. I didn't know. You know, and I'm noticing every time I look around, people are just getting lighter and lighter and more Latin and Latin. And I'm just like, okay. So yes, I do agree with you on that. I feel like she was going for one thing and ended up somewhere else, but I guess she ended up doing what she was. Probably that's it. I don't know. Y'all go ahead with this. I don't know what was going on.
I think this has just become this.
Tova said she's ghetto fishing, stripper fishing. Jay Kavasi, what's a bit of a reach? You said that's a bit of a reach. What's a bit of a reach? Say it with your chest.
I love the ratchet on Mr. Justin's screen. So it's all one big, dumb, generic social media look for me, and it comes in every color. I don't see it moving in color. I see dark-skinned girls doing it. I see, Irish girls doing it, whatever. Grab a ridiculously long and full wig with appropriate amounts of baby hair, and if your nose isn't highlight your nose to make it appear different. You know what I mean? It's just all one generic look that I'm seeing. It becomes, it's sort of like a, I don't know. It's almost like the mask or the uniform now for so many of these social media girls that, they're all just looking like one thing to me.
I understand the point being made here, but when I saw her, I just didn't think blackfishing or Latin fishing. She looks like the fat trailer trash white girl with 4 or 5 black baby daddies. White woman, 6 mixed kids who defends using the N word, and that's what I
met
saw.
my neighbor.
Your neighbor.
That's what I saw.
Like she could be on stage with Jerry Springer.
That's it.
Like,
That's all I saw.
Catch me outside.
With the yes.
The evolution. The
Catch me
evolution.
outside. How about that?
Exactly. You know she sounds like that too.
Exactly what I saw.
Catch me outside. How about that? Dr.
How
Phil
about
was
that?
like,
2023.
Dr. Phil was like, I'm sorry, catch you what? Catch me
was
outside.
that
How about
English?
that? I mean, catch me outside. I'm sorry, what? Catch you where?
Slower.
Period.
So you-
Periana. Period. Periana.
You said she's trying to be a rapper.
Yes, I wish I had the video. Yeah, she was. She did drop the rap song. She actually did.
I bet it's a gem.
And we're not going to negate the fact that she's a teenager. Because every time I see, she went from being like a 5-year-old to a stripper, and like
Like a lot of the girls online. Like a lot of the girls online.
Yeah, that's true. This is a new.
On my Vegatron, he's asking me. They had Mexicans in the Bronx. You really got to get out y'all hood. Y'all don't know shit about the fucking world. Yes, Mexicans are all over the world. Chicanas are Mexican. You don't call Mexicans Latinos, but Mexicans call themselves Latino and Latino. So it don't matter what you call them. It matters what they call themselves. For the records. Sarah C says, people who blackfish try to look racially ambiguous. The goal is to look more like Beyonce, not Naomi Campbell. So that's an interesting thing, right? Because when you say blackfish, I'm thinking of the word black, and you look at, let's say, when you say black woman, black women, black girls, do you think 25 inches of European hair? Do you think lighter skin? Do you think thinner noses? Right? Do you think that? Because that's not those aren't the aesthetics that come to my mind when I think black people, black women. With that said, before people come at me, yes, black comes in different shades and colors and blah blah. But I'm saying collectively as a unit. If I tell you Asian, you're not thinking this face, are you? You're not. A spade is a spade. You're not. If I tell you, no, I'm Asian, you're going to be like, oh shit, you don't look Asian. And you're going to say, I don't look Asian, because that's not what you picture, right? So when I picture black women, for them to say black fishing, I don't picture the looks that girl had. I picture maybe Mexican in California. I picture maybe the trailer trash that Haran was talking about. So I don't know where that came from, but just like everything else that spawns online, it doesn't make much sense.
Well, Jen,
nothing.
Before I saw the image, just real quick, I thought that I was going to expect to see cornrows, and like that's what I was really expecting to see cornrows, right?
Okay.
Because I'd imagine that hairstyle was developed by black people. So I've seen that before, and I was like, okay, that's blackfishing, sure. But she didn't have that. It was just like straight hair, and that's it.
Maybe it's more from her look and maybe her demeanor, like how she acts. Like you said, she wants to be a rapper. So is her demeanor more than her looks?
Dolores, are you about to say she was acting black? Because then that needs to be defined.
Yeah, because I'm about to. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Thank you for showing the term up for me. But yeah, she's trying to act black, and I think that's maybe where it's coming from.
Order in the court.
Listen, I think this comes from.
One second, I just want to say one thing, Jen. In reference to what you were saying in terms of what you're thinking about when you think of the word black, I think it depends on the context. When we're thinking about entertainment, 9 times out of 10, the version that she's trying to present, that is often the version associated with being successful in the world of entertainment.
Minus the BBL.
Oh, that's probably coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
She probably already has an appointment for her 18th birthday or something.
What you think, No Saint? What say you?
I'm in my mind. I'm going back and forth because I hear people criticize black women for trying to, or black men. Oh, he's acting white. So I don't think it's strictly because she's white she gets all this flack. But I sometimes wonder if it's like because, like for me, I sit there and think, well, okay, these people like certain things. Like if someone copies an artist, a drummer, or a thing, that's supposed to be like a compliment. You know what I mean? Like a compliment. But I think because she can dive into like Blackfish, Latina fish, but she can come out of it whenever she wants. Maybe that's where some of the pushback comes, because like the whole, it bothers me. The whole term cultural appropriation bothers me because that's what humans have done throughout history is culturally appropriate. That's nothing unique to America and our different races in America. So when someone says, oh, this person can't do this, well, why not? Maybe they like it and maybe it's a compliment. You know what I mean? I'm not saying this particular person, but like I saw one of the comments, I think one of the comments on the video when you were playing it, and I'm just like, oh no, it was Ice Spice thing. I'm like, I'm looking at that saying to myself, was Ice Spice the first one? Maybe she copied Ronald McDonald. I don't know. No. Maybe she culturally appropriated Ronald McDonald's hair. I mean, it just bothers me when people say, "Oh, she took this person's look." No, she did. Maybe she did. People used to dress up like Madonna, but it wasn't a big deal. It was like, I like Madonna. I'm going to dress like Madonna.
There's trends, and maybe
so that kind of stuff just to me, it's ridiculous.
But I'm gonna tell you why I feel like it triggers people. It's because black women can't make it off of their own image. You're right. Like a lot of times it's harder for a black woman to make it big, and even if she does make it big, a white woman will make it even bigger off of a black woman's image. And I think that's where it's, I think that's where it's
but like that's strictly that's because of the demographics, right? That's what that's about. Yeah, so that's, I don't know,
I mean, even though that's what that's about, it still exists, and that's where the vitriol comes from. Where it's like, oh, so I can't wear cornrows, but that Becky bitch wears cornrows, and everybody's running, and she's now in Vogue magazine, and it's so stylish for her to wear. So and that comes, we discussed on the show before. We're tribal. People are tribal. I don't care what it is. And I use Point Break, for instance, like the surfers. They were real surfers, born and raised into that. And then Keanu Reeves comes and they're like, go back to the valley, man. Because they knew he wasn't of that light. They knew he wasn't a real surfer. And that happens with all of us. I don't care if you could be a fireman. You know what I mean? And then some guy comes out and he's like, I just do paperwork. He never ran in a building. You guys are going to have something to say about that. You're going to be like, this fucking punk's never ran in the building.
I'll say that what you say, but in this sense, I'm not talking about, I'm thinking of my thing, like when people used to, all of a sudden the Saints are winning, 15 games a year and they went to a Super Bowl and, my mom and my sister suddenly watched that saying, oh, fucking bandwagoners. I get, but in my mind, I'm like, but who cares? You know what I mean? Of course, people like winners.
It's first world problems, but it's these people aren't starving for water, but it stings a little bit. You know what I mean? It stings a little bit. You got this white girl, this privileged white girl doing the dark eyeliner. I mean, this is like it's our tribal paint, that that brown fucking lip liner, bitch. That's like our tribal paint.
Definitely, I've seen that. Yeah, the dark eyeliner and
the baby
California.
hairs. Like we get each other ready like that. You know what I mean? Like we do each other's hair and it's close to our culture. It's not a costume, you fucking bitch. We get emotional, but of course we have to pause and be like, man, whatever, bitch, whatever. You'll never be one of us. But it triggers. It's triggering, and I understand why it's triggering. So I don't completely dismiss it. Like, oh, what are y'all talking? Because I understand it triggers. We are tribal. Humans are tribal. Thank you so much, Team Fatty, for this super chat. We need to do a show together, Jen. Let's do it. You could cam up tonight if you like. Okay. So anything else on Miss Hip Hop?
Right.
I thought Sarah C's comment was funny. She said,
Oh, what she said?
"Isn't Ice Spice mimicking Annie?"
Oh,
Right.
Oh, wow.
That is the first thing I thought when I saw her.
listen.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a
Right.
joke when I
As
saw
if,
Ice
as if
Spice.
she or Carrot Top. I mean, like as if like
Right.
she's the first one to have shocking orange hair. Come on.
Well, but I will
Yeah.
say, if you think it does have a history, the more I think about it, people going in blackface, just like you're saying, making money off of it. I realize it's a little bit deeper
Yeah, it's deep.
in those communities.
It's not only that,
than a
it's
white
just-
person might see on the surface. Yeah.
It's just for centuries, white people have taken everything. So then it's like, oh, now you're going to take our, the
Baby
notes of our
hair?
culture too.
I know, but I'm just
Maybe.
saying.
Now you wanna take our
I
cultural
get
look?
what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but if everybody played that game, we wouldn't advance in civilization. It's like, oh, you can't have this idea because my people made it. I mean, no, we borrow from everybody. Everybody borrows from everybody.
Yeah, but when you're
But the problem is that the original person can't succeed off of their own stuff. That's where the problem. This particular demographic, which is the black
I get
community,
you. Yeah, I
has a
get you.
harder time. So that's why it hurts harder for the black community as opposed to the rest of the world, because it's just a different
Right, because
thing.
that sort of thing's been happening all throughout Europe for hundreds of years, the Middle East through hundreds of years, all across Asia for the hundreds of years, because it's so jam-packed. Like all these countries are like jammed
Yeah.
together, and they have to get along. There's been trade routes, there's been wars,
No,
there's
but
been
they don't have to.
alliances, and well, they have to, because where are you going to go? Like they can't separate the land. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so
that's why they conquer that's why they go.
Right. Well, yeah, they trade off, but in that
Yeah.
there's trading. I mean, think about the spice trade, the silk trade, like how we got IPAs from India, like that whole thing. Like there's tons of it. But I guess
Algebra.
your point, Dolores. Yeah, good point. Mathematics. But like those that created it, they still were able to say, hey, we made this. And history would still say like, hey, yeah, look who made this back in the day. Like silk came from over here, and it was part of this whole trade thing. You know what I'm saying? And whereas I get what Dolores is saying, where the original isn't really propped up or supported in that sense.
Right, not at all. And again, that's where the vitriol comes from, that we can't monetize our look, but Kim Kardashian could run around in cornrows, and it's like, oh, hey, look how chic. So chic.
Right.
When she does it. And I think the pushback, though, that I see a lot from white people, the pushback I see a lot is like, it's the irony is that Black people capitalize off of whiteface, what I would call whiteface or white adjacent, and then white people capitalize off of the quote unquote blackfishing or acting black. That's what's interesting, because if you notice, all our Black pop stars are sitting on the blonde wigs. They do not take off those blonde wigs. Hi, Lily. You know what I'm saying?
I'll start my skin bleaching tomorrow.
Whoa.
Right, but here's
Hair
the thing.
color and skin color, like she's tanning. You know what I'm saying? Hair color, your clothes that you put on, but you're tanning your skin to portray someone else. Why? To say that you're more talented? Because Eminem was white and he's a hell of a rapper. So I don't like what's her purpess? You know what I'm saying?
I think her purpose is to join into what's popular. And right now, unless you're Taylor Swift, white girls are just not popular. Like straight up.
I was thinking the same thing. It makes her stand out. Like,
Yeah.
oh, look what the heck she's doing. She's so different than what she was. Like
a
wow.
straight up Becky, they not popping. What's popping now is the Ice Spices and the Cardi B's and what have you. However, when Black women and Latin women in the in rap and in pop culture, whatever, are popping, they are white adjacent. That is what they're doing. The hair is not the texture that grows out of the hair. Cardi B's wigs, that's not how her hair grows out of her head. The wig that Ice Spice has that she's wearing, that's not the texture of her hair. We saw the Little Orphan Annie. That is not her hair texture. So it's like Black and Latin go white adjacent, and then white go Black and Latin adjacent. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
But then you look at who props the people up like her. what that makes them big is usually the Black community,
Oh yes.
right?
Oh,
That
yes.
that makes
And
these type of girls to go big.
the hair and beauty industries.
Right, right.
Yeah, and that goes back to it's a unique, like I guess unique, not really, because a lot of people are doing it, but it's kind of a unique thing. It's just like the black guy, the Herman Cains. All of a sudden, they're in the Republican Party, and all the white people are supporting them, right? Oh look, oh that's a good one over there.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we'll support him. Same thing with people going into black. We're gonna invite him to the barbecue. He's not the nerdy, corny white guy that he's a cool white guy.
All right. So on that note, let's get rid of Becky and let's get into the meat and taters. Let's get into the meat and taters tonight, guys. Hold on to your hats and your underwear.
Can I say something just real quick before you jump into that?
Absolutely.
What's with celebrities naming their kids after states and cities? What the hell? Why did they name their kids like Brooklyn or Cincinnati or Alabama? Like, why are you doing that?
Alabama.
You sound retarded.
Dakota didn't really age well.
No,
Dakota. I don't know. I don't
it's
know.
terrible, and they're the only ones that do that. And when you hear somebody say that, like, call their kid over, like, come on over, Detroit. You're like, what? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to your poor child? Naming them after a city or a state. Come on, like, use your imagination.
It's got to be kind of cool
opening
sounding,
an
though, because it
atlas.
can't be like, say, hey, New Hampshire. New Hampshire. Could you just bring me a glass of water?
Chattanooga, if you don't stop it.
Chattanooga.
But I was on the subway. This is a couple years ago, and I saw this woman. She was sitting there with her two kids, and they were like just going crazy on the subway. They were like 5 and 6 years old, and she had it. It was like that kind of day. She was just up to here with them, and she yells at me. She gets it. She goes, "Spatula, behave!"
Come on.
And I'm like, "Wait, did I just hear?"
Wow.
Maybe it's a nickname. That's got to be a nickname.
Spatulana is the full name. Yeah, what's her name? Gwyneth Paltrow's daughter's name.
Apple.
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 Right.
Well, some kind of work. I mean, I think Austin kind of works.
Austin works. Austin works.
Because those are real names too.
Yeah.
What about numbers and colors like Blue Ivy, and 7?
No. I've got a friend who's named their daughter's middle name Blue,
cute.
and I was like, "You are trying too hard to be cool. You're just letting everyone know that you're not cool because you're trying so damn hard. You dummy."
Hey, listen.
You know what?
You don't remember the kids in court, real quick, Lily? You don't remember the kids in court, or the people that had to go to court because they named their son Adolf Hitler?
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
That's a hard
Mental abuse.
Right. Talk about putting a target on your kid's back. Why would you do that?
Really?
They might scare those kids. If he's naming his kid Adolf Hitler, imagine what he'll do to you if you pick on him.
Right.
Mom, who am I named after?
There'll be a who picked on your son? Okay, we'll go get the
You
cross
named after
tonight.
a German painter.
Stick it in your yard. Burn it.
A German painter. Am I losing my curls? Am I losing my fucking curls because it's hot in here?
Probably. You probably got a whole press by now.
New York has been ridiculous.
No, horrible.
I mean, I know the Southwest has been, but New York has been just.
No, New York has
stupid.
been. I can't believe it's so hot. I mean,
The
it's just
swamp.
Oh, yeah, I can't even go outside. It's so hot. It's just ridiculous.
All right, main topic, family. Let's get into this. It's very interesting, and it's something. I had an epiphany, right? And we had an epiphany here together. As a matter of fact, we kind of came to it, together. We came at the same time.
We
It's
did,
Friday,
and it was
bitches.
good. It was good.
It's Friday,
That shit was
bitches.
good.
Okay, so no saying it's like I'm about to live with these motherfuckers for a week.
Yeah, that's what's about to happen, actually. Yep.
Okay, so right, in the age of the social media explosion, YouTube explosion, a lot of Black podcasters are holding Black women accountable, right? That's the running theme, holding Black women accountable, right? And the more I listen, right, we hear things like, you know, a Black woman's supposed to speak life into her man. She's supposed to speak life into her man. She's supposed to build her man. She's supposed to work with her man. She's supposed to do the 50-50. She has to bring something to the table. And then we hear Black women let the government chase us out the home. The Black women let them, you know what I mean? So the men are admitting that they had to leave the home in the 70s, right? Because the Black women preferred the government assistance, right? And then we hear Black women don't know how to raise. They're all single mothers. They don't know how to raise their children. They don't. So then, you know, I guess you're telling me that, you know, Black women are being left to raise these children on their own. Where are the fathers, right? And we all kind of came to an epiphany. We were like, wait a minute. If men of any culture or ethnicity, right, are depending on the women to keep that culture and that community intact, then that's a matriarchal society, right? Community that's depending on the women to lead, to bear the children, to raise the children, to make the money, to build the men. Well, I mean, we're talking about fucking the Wonder Woman movie, right? We got these Amazons running around and they're supposed to be taking care of the community and not only the children, but the men as well. So I have a video. And it's very, very, it echoes a lot. What this man is saying echoes a lot throughout YouTube channels. I see a lot of Black men saying what this man has said. They're all insisting that women in general are supposed to build the Black man that they want, which means he is not built already. He has to be made by the Black woman. I find that very interesting because it's really, and anybody could correct me if I'm wrong, y'all want to get jazzy, the link is pinned to the top. You could jump up on the panel. James, I know you probably lurking and watching. You can come up on the panel. Okay? So feel free to come up. Let's discuss this. Let's dissect it. But from the outside looking in, right, as a Latina, we had a white guy up here that said the same thing. No Saint said he's never heard the phrase, speak life into your man. So we're from the outside looking in, and we're wondering why Black men need all this aid. Now, I know people are going to retort, because of slavery and oppression. However, Black women have suffered the same, yet you're looking for her to be the backbone. The math ain't mathin'. So I'm going to play this video for you because there's a sentiment across the board that I've seen over and over and over again, where Black men are insisting that Black women have to make them leaders. So let's play this guy, and you got to listen real closely because he's on his, you know, Barry White. So he's trying to do this, and he's kind of talking. Yes, I have some that. He's doing that shit.
Do we got subtitles?
Yeah. I'll pay it. The link is pinned. It's not pinned. It's pinned. Don't play with me. It's not pinned. Come on. Who wants the smoke? Come up. I thought I pinned it. Come get this smoke.
Well, that's how I got in here.
It was pinned to the top, right?
That's right.
All right. Somebody's lying.
Scroll up. Don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy. Where is it? I'll drop it again and I'll repin it. Whoever wants to come up, because it's going to get spicy now. It's going to get spicy. All right. I just dropped it again. Let me go in the chat. It's definitely pinned. So you guys want to come up and argue. Let's argue. So here's the video. And again, I'll play it twice if I have to, because I'm telling you, that's how he sounds. Okay, here is the video. Listen to what he's telling her. And then I got a couple questions, or anybody else want to chime in, I'll pass the mic. But I want to know if you've ever heard any other race or ethnicity expect this from a woman. Here we go. I guess okay, watch your mics too. Back there, sound like you're building shit. Okay.
Just because you ain't had no money, you left me?
Had to.
That ain't right. I don't like that.
If I'm making more money than him,
You should help him get some more money.
How am I going to do that, though? If I have my own career, I'm doing what I'm doing.
A woman's supposed to be a helpmate.
I feel like a man is supposed to be that for a girl.
A man's supposed to be a leader.
You right.
You're supposed to help him be a better leader.
So I was in the wrong. Now I'm the bad guy. I'm always the bad guy.
You looking for a daddy.
I ain't looking for a daddy. I got my own money. I got my own money. I could do what I do. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't need a guy for money.
But you want one.
I want a man to be stable. If I was to leave him, I want him to be...
So he wasn't stable?
He was okay, but I was making more than him.
So he was stable though.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So why are you leaving then? You said you just want.
Because he wasn't doing better than me. I need a guy doing better than me. And if he's not doing better than me, then...
I guess I feel like it would have been more real if you'd have helped him get to where you.
I'll start off by saying something. The reason why the black man, in many reasons, is in the space that he is right now is because he continues to put his mother on the pedestal.
Can't hear you. You're giving us the quiet storm, Haran.
The reason why, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Now.
Yes, sir.
The reason why the black man is, many of these black men are in the state that they're in right now is because they continue to put their mothers on a pedestal. Look, I respect my mother, but I don't put her on a pedestal. And when you put your mother on a pedestal, you're constantly going through life trying to appease your mom. And many black men are trying to appease their moms or appease their sisters or appease all these people, all these women in their lives and so on and so forth. And they never take the opportunity to really sit down and understand and think about who they are and stand in their own square. Instead, these ideas that this particular gentleman was spewing out, it sounds disgusting. I mean, it sounds like you can't even. I mean, does she hold your penis when you're peeing too? Like, what else is it?
Some people are into that.
You can't do by yourself, because at what point in time are you a self-contained, functioning human being? At what point in time does that happen? I'll pass the microphone on that.
Hold on, because I knew this was going to happen. Dwayne Rhodes, you said, how about a timeout? Stop talking about black men. Do your talking points about Hispanic, Spanish, or Latinx. Do you have a problem with the content? Say yes or no, so I know whether to block you right now. Just say yes or no, because you know me, I'm about action. I'm about action, all right? You guys like jerking off. I like fucking. Do you have a problem with the content? Yes or no? And I'll 86 your ass right out of here. If you don't like the content, fuck off. You don't control my channel. Go make your own fucking YouTube channel and you go talk about Hispanics over there. I talk about everybody on this bitch. And nobody is exempt. And nobody is beyond reproach. Hit me with a yes or no, and I'll bounce you out of here.
He said, no, I don't.
Okay, good. Then let's rock. Passing the mic.
So I called my oh, hold on, let our guest go first, and then I'll.
Oh yes, Dolores. What say you? I'm curious.
Well, both of them on both parts, I think, are thinking that relationships wrong. Relationships is a partnership. You know what I'm saying? I'm married. Been married for 8 years. My husband is a ex-con. So we've been through some struggles together. You know what I'm saying? I had to find out who I was as a woman, as a wife when we got married, and being a wife to an ex-con. It was hard. We in Georgia. Georgia, you can't get an apartment if you're ex-con. You don't supposed to really get a job, you know, unless it's through a temp service in Georgia. But me being who I am, I've always know is more than one way to skin a cat. So I was with my husband as he was going through these transitions as a partner. Now, did I baby him? Hell no, not at all. Like, no excuses. Okay, you did time in prison. Okay, a lot of people did. You was over convicted. You know, okay, you got yourself out of prison. So if you get yourself out of prison, you could make it in these streets. You could make it and you could survive. So I didn't baby him, but we also had a partnership. So I understood it was hard for him. So I didn't coddle him and be like, it's going to be okay. But I didn't be like, you're not doing enough either. We had to understand each other. We had to communicate and get through it and understand, like, I go through my shit, you go through your shit, and we help each other. But to say I had to lift him up, nah. Now, do I encourage him? Hell yeah, because he know to be with me and to be in this relationship with me, I do have standards, and so does he. But I don't feel like all black women don't do that. Some black women, they do because they don't know who they are. So they will sit there and be a mother to a motherless man. A lot of people, like you said, it's about the mothers and they, lifting their mothers up. Some of these men act this way because they don't have mothers figures and they're looking for it. They go to women who's going to cook for them all the time and pay all their bills and let them sit in the house and play video games at 30 and 40 years old, because they're looking for a mother figure. Instead of saying, get up, get out, be a man. Man that doesn't work doesn't eat, right?
Right.
But then we sit there and we put them on a pedestal they don't deserve, and that's when the problem comes in.
Dolores, can I ask you, were you with him prior to him going in? Were you guys,
So
were
you
you guys
lost
together?
So we was high school sweethearts and we was married, but he was in the streets. I'm more corporate. My mother kind of, you don't date people from jail. This how I was raised. So he wasn't in jail when I met him. We married. We had one child. We divorced. He went to prison. I remarried, had 2 more children, divorced again. He got out and we just communicated as friends, but we're older. I saw the change in him and we just started dating again. In the midst of us dating, we learned the different laws. He was in South Carolina. I was in Georgia. They didn't want him here with his son. They was like, well, y'all divorced before, so y'all could divorce again. We remarried because of the justice system. Let me explain. He was over convicted. They gave him 25 to 30 years for a crime that should have been 5. Okay. He fought his way out. When he got out, they still put him on probation. And they wanted him to live in a halfway house. So as we was dating, I was like, okay, how long you have to live in this halfway house? He said, for 5 to 10 years. So they over convict you and then you still have to live like you still in prison. Yes. So we try to figure out a way out of it so he can get a job and come with his family. So we got married. We made an agreement to get married, and the judge, once we got married, the judge signed him off and actually took him off for parole once we got married, completely took him off. And he moved to Georgia and we just continued from there. And we hit a lot of roadblocks.
It sounds like you built the leader you wanted. He didn't come that way. You built him. You helped him with the parole, and you helped him at the halfway house, and you helped, like, you literally made the man that you wanted because he didn't come that way to you. He didn't present himself that way to you.
He got himself out of prison. I wasn't with him when he got himself out of prison. So to me, he was already that leader to fight his way out of prison. I wasn't even in contact with him when he was in prison. Again, I had a mind thought, when you lead yourself in prison, you stay in prison. I didn't even let my son go and see him in prison because I didn't know what mentally was going to do to him. I didn't really dig into the prison aspect until I realized all the shit he had to go through once he got out. And I'm like, damn, like, you're out and you still got to go through this. And that's what made me start looking at things like, I'm wrong for judging you based on a decision you made in the past. So I didn't make him. I just helped him by standing by his side and like, hey, you want to fight? I'm going to fight with you. And that's what he did. And I just stood by his side and, we did things that people say he couldn't do. He has a passport. We done travel the world together. We started a business together. We do fashion together. He helped me raise my kids. My daughter was like 6 and now she's 16. His son that we have together is 23. I mean, I can't say that I built the man that I wanted him to be. I respect the man that he is as he respects the woman that I am.
Can I ask a question, Dolores?
Sure.
How long were you in corporate while he was incarcerated or trying to get out? How long were you in corporate America?
Most of my life.
Most of
my life. So, yeah, most of my life. So when he was in prison, I was in.
Wait, one question. Wait, I just want to continue. So, your whole life, as you're in corporate America, did you seek out a mate in the corporate world?
I did.
And how did that work out?
I divorced him. I divorced him.
May I ask?
So yeah,
you don't have to answer. May I ask the reason?
I grew and he didn't. I mean, he was content on where he was at, and I grew as a person. He was older than me, so let me state that. You know what I'm saying? He was 15 years older.
That the black community is matriarchal. It's been that way for a long time, and we've seen a lot of interview style documentaries that have come out in the last couple of years from back in the 60s and 70s. Well, this has been a conversation for a long time. And the back and forth with the particular topic with Keke Palmer, I don't think there's a right and wrong in this, right? I can't tell people how to talk. I most certainly don't think that what this guy said makes him a bitch. But I don't think there's really a right and wrong in this. I did a show earlier about Adam 22 and his situation with his wife, and it's like,
yeah, we did that yesterday.
Yeah, and my guys who rock with me, they were surprised by my take because I'm just kind of like, look, dog, I can understand, right? I don't have to make the same choices as somebody else to be able to comprehend or understand their choices, right? All I have to do is think about it. That's why we have a mind, a brain, right? And so I can think about it and I can see what's going on in a person's relationship. I listened to 1 8-minute clip from them and it all made sense, right? And so usually I think that's what we ought to do in most cases is just hear people out, listen to understand, not necessarily to be quick to respond. And then it gives you the ability to be more empathetic towards people's perspectives and choices and less judgmental. But we're content creators, right? So we kind of have to judge people. We're going to put things on display. We're going to have deep conversations about them. This is a very eclectic panel, one of the most eclectic panels I've seen to date. I'm glad YouTube put you in my algorithm, and I'm glad you all took Fatty to task. Fatty, nah. I subscribe to the show, so I will definitely be checking in from here on out. And God bless all of you.
Thank you.
Let me close
Thank you so much.
Let me close out by saying this: black males are going to have to get more diverse on their theories and get away from the feelings of opinions, because opinions are feelings in the dictionary, feelings with no facts. You're going to have to get, as a black male, you did it on the streets, you did it on the block. You had to know who was the shot caller, who was the runner, who was fronting, who was connected to who. But when we get in these streets, we just want to be heard and we just blurt out stuff. So to the guy who had the Twitter finger say, yeah, but you a mom. Who are you appealing to, sir? Check your chick when she get home. Who are you reaching out to looking for validation on Twitter? Other men? We ain't even on there like that. So you're gonna run into a lot of ladies or anti-male speakers, and of course they're gonna give you the business. So I think everything you guys were saying for the other person and what you've been saying thus far is true. We guys are not perfect, but we do have to practice more stoicism. We do have to practice more decisiveness. And even if the Adam 22 thing, he is a porn star. People, you do realize that. So you as a black man trying to shame him for what he's doing, how does it make sense? He's richer than you. He got you coming on his podcast, making money for him. You laughing at him, making jokes about him, ain't doing nothing but making him more money. So you got to get out of this shame game. That's the last thing I want to say, because it's not working for black men trying to shame everybody just because you intellectually disagree.
I love that. And Adam 22 did say in a statement, it's great. It's been great for business. That whole fiasco it has been great for business. So it hasn't been great for the people that are shaming him. And I want to say, you know what I mean? Again, like the gentleman who left little podcast said, we're entertaining up here. Sometimes it's intimidating. Some people are like, oh, but you were yelling or whatever. And then I come right back. This is fucking entertainment. And I'm a fucking good one. I'll say that. But, I'm not even trying to, you know what I mean? Like, my heart goes out to young men like Team Fatty. It really does. And I mean that sincerely, because they don't have guidance. And I'm telling you, they spend countless hours on these machines and then they come out like this. No woman is going to want to deal with that. No woman that's about her business is going to want to deal with that. And then he's going to, continue hating women. It's going to get worse and worse and worse and snowball. I love what you said about being stoic. That's what I'm used to. I'm old school. I'm 50 in a couple months. And I mean it with all my heart. When my dad walked in, the energy changed, right? And I think that's what's lost from a lot of men, especially younger men. And it's being lost. I don't know if it's that they don't have daddies, or it's not being passed down, or it's just a smorgasbord of all these podcasters and everybody's a life coach, and it's just too much. But he really is a perfect case study of what YouTube birthed. He's emotional. He's interrupting. He wants it to be fair. He wants to be treated like women are treated. These are the guys that YouTube birthed, and it's scary. Like, I feel sorry for the younger girls that are out in the dating world. Like, these are your choices. This is crazy. But
he needs an AI girlfriend.
Let me just say one last thing.
Let's pass the mic. And I hope you come back here, C-Lay Trey.
Quick thing, like what Jen just said. This is a prime example of, at the end of the day, she really does care. You know what I mean? She said her heart goes out to the guy and so on and so forth. And this is the difference. Mine doesn't. It really doesn't, because the loser's a fucking loser. Like, seriously. Just get out the way. Get out the fucking way, man.
You leave it up to Haran. He's throwing you overboard.
You got things to do. And a lot of times, she'll, to be totally honest with you, you guys think that she's heartless and so on. There's a lot of times when we'll have conversations and I'm trying to connect with what she's saying. She's my friend. And I'm like, this guy's a fucking loser. Fuck him. You know what I mean? But I'm done on that. Look, man, bro, get it together, or don't. Or don't. Or don't. So I pass the mic on that.
Like Haran says, let them die on the vine. Hey. But you see, yes, beans, yes, honey, fit there. But that's why I asked him, what did you learn? Are you listening? Because I really wanted him to fucking learn and listen for his benefit. It's not for mine. It's so he can go out there and be a better person. But some of these guys there, look, you know how I feel about the cliff in the movie 300. Some of them had to be Kobe. Yeah. You know what I mean? Some of them had to be chopped.
Kobe Eastern kicked him in the hole. But Jen, what the important thing, like what you mentioned with your father, right?
Yes.
Feelings leave lasting impressions. Okay. Like you can remember like an experience you had, any kind of like one-off experience that was really great that left an impression. Okay. Now imagine an impressionable experience that happens day after day after day after day after day, right? You saw your dad, maybe every single day or, multiple times. I don't know what the frequency was throughout a month, but it was like a lot of times, right? And that feeling gets carved, this trench in your mind, siblings, your mom, whatever. And that's what happens. That's what happens. So now you bring that into, so now this becomes imbued in you, right?
Yes.
This is what's missing, right? And these guys can't get that from YouTube, right? Maybe certain concepts can be translated through the screen and understood on like a conceptual, intellectual level, right? Okay, you got to be like this. You got to think this way. You got to have these sort of behaviors and actions and so on. But I can tell you from like someone who works with men on a weekly basis, it takes like seriously punching them in the chest weekly to get things through their skull, right? Because they didn't have that. They didn't have that daily emotional exposure to this experience of like, man, this is how you're supposed to just show up without talking about it, just being about it, right? So when your dad came in, he was just being about it, and you felt that beingness. He didn't have to sit down and explain, okay, well, this is how I am, and this is what you should do, and this is what maybe sometimes you would say this is what I expect. But aside from that, generally speaking, you just like absorb the impression that was made. right? And so when you don't have that, it's really hard to recreate that. Just really quick, I don't want to run into bell, but my thoughts about this matriarchal thing. Okay, there's a conflict there. Like, I think because of that, because there is, I think this innate desire to be not what one is, right? If like you feel like, okay, shit, I'm in this matriarchal system, but I don't want to be in this matriarchal system. At the same time, I want to be in this matriarchal system because like, so it's like it's benefiting part of my psychology, but offending another part of my psychology.
Damn.
And so it's like, well, you got to pick one, right? Go with the offense and say, fuck off. I'm going to take the fucking reins out of your hands. I'm going to put my feet and dig my toes into the ground and start building the pillars of myself. Or I'm going to accept the matriarchal situation and just say, okay, this is my role. That's her role. And because there are successful matriarchal societies in the world, I just researched it and there's like 6 of them, right? And that they're still thriving today, right? They're in China, they're in Africa. I can't remember the other places, but they exist, right? And the men still have roles, like in some of these, like the men they're the ones that deal with the politics, but everything else in the culture is run by women. But when it comes to like, you know, politics or war or whatever, that's the men, and then everything else is ladies. So it's like, it's pick one. Pick, are you going to succumb or are you going to fight against it? But it's that being in between that's causing that much the strain and the anxiety, I think.
I mean, that's what I'm attracted to, that energy. And you know, it's happened here on the panel before. Again, like it's no, you know, Haran sometimes goes off. He raises his voice. Like, I just know a woman knows when she's amongst men. A woman knows, and the only time I get like that is when I'm across feminine energy. And you can see it. You've seen it on a lot of my shows. That is the only time I go off, okay? Is when I'm across feminine energy. It's like arguing with my girlfriends. Like, bitch, no the fuck, that's not what happened, right? But to, you know, men that I feel that vibe from, it's a completely different exchange. And I get to be, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's a different type of exchange when men are stoic or whatever. And I think that's what's missing from a lot of these young guys. Now, of course, I see here someone said, yo, check this out. And this is a great point. Oh my Vegatron, I guess he knows Team Fatty. He's like, I see your views growing. 4.5 view average per video. Once you get it to 7K, it's going to snowball. Now, here's the thing. Unfortunately, men are being rewarded for acting like that. Back in our day, men were being rewarded for holding down a household, building shit, breaking shit, right? Just being men. Now they're getting rewarded for being the loudest bitch on YouTube.
For complaining.
Let me prove your point. There was a guy probably like 6-8 years ago. He had he was one of the first black dudes to hit 1 point something. He had maybe like 1 point something million. He committed suicide because he was lonely. Like, he didn't have actual friends outside of his YouTube experience. Now, he killed himself, and you know, he had 1 point something followers. Or like the lady who went and rented out a booth and wanted all her YouTube fans to come, and she had like 300, 400,000, and nobody came. So you got, that's just proving your point. I wish we had really got into this matriarchal thing and not gave him that 11 minutes of time.
I know, my bad.
Censoring himself, because the matriarch thing is something I actually came up for. You know, the unfortunate thing, defending the men a little bit outside of behavior. When you have Stacey Abrams say stuff against black men in public squares, when you got Claudia Jordan telling Ice Cube, black women are not part of the black community, we need our own. When you got people on CNN saying, you got to be quiet and get behind the women. You know, this is the matriarch that I came up to speak about. That type of stuff is not teammate. That stuff guys would search other guys out and fist fight them for. And unfortunately, we got so many ladies in positions of manager and or power they're not teammate with these guys. Like I always have to bring up the point that black men created the first National Economics Women Convention. That was the Pullman Union who did that. CTBU created a whole union for black women to get into the welding force in 1970. So we've always helped our women, but for some reason, some and several of our ladies, let's call them the 60%, they tend to get in these public squares and make it a woman-only discussion. And then half the guys are like, well, let me champion that. Let me take Black Lives Matter away from the St. Louis black men that created it and give it to these ladies over here. And then these ladies turn it into something else. That's the part of the matriarchal that I came to speak of, is that unfortunately, you got some people that don't play teammate. They have a woman-only conversation until they get in trouble or until they start getting kicked out of the workforce. Your daughter right now isn't in a lot of feminine spaces minus nursing than her predecessor auntie. She's in man spaces now because some of these other spaces don't want her. She's in the warehouse, your daughter. She's in the security guard. She's in all these places. Why is she not in the feminine receptionist and admin assistant as much anymore? Maybe in your city, your state is different, but I travel across the nation and we see a lot of people. What they just did, the article that they fired a whole bunch of executive black women. So I just think if women are not careful pushing this separatist mindset while everybody else is working together, it's going to lead to a different conversation come 2028.
But are women separate themselves, or are they marketing that way? Because even when it goes to voting, they go for more of the women vote because that's the most popular vote. You know what I'm saying? So is it us separating ourselves, or is it them separating us because we do get things done or we do spend the most money? You know, like Tyler Perry, he does his movies relating to women because women are going to support him versus men supporting them. So are we actually separating ourselves, or are we the ones that's showing up?
So if you listen to the answer I gave, it's you getting on the, it's those other women getting on the microphone separating themselves.
Okay.
You know, marketing is one thing. You know, saying I'm part of the Wall Street and I'm going to give you X amount of money because I see you making it happen. That's one thing. You getting on the microphone thereafter and say, see, you men need to get behind us. You don't have to do that. That's unnecessary. The Filipino woman ain't going to do it. The Jewish woman ain't going to do it, even if they feel it that way. So when you ask that question, I want you to take into consideration how many of the 25% of ladies rush to the microphone and say unnecessary things in the political square against their teammate, the black man. You don't have to do that. If you're getting good benefits, get them and ride off into the sunset. But it's the same thing I say to a Jen's point about guys saying, I'm going to go do this over here. And they turn around and go, ha, 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 see, black woman. No, sir, you don't have to do that. That's being childish and petty. I'm going to give you the same energy. Go do you, but don't turn around to the community wagging your finger. Nobody benefits like that.
Right. And see, and this is, again, you know, they're in the chat having a gay old time. So Team Fatty, he's like, D, should I review this? Right. And then we'll look
I
at
told
who
him light
D
our
is.
ass up.
And then D is like, Team Fatty, absolutely. I mean, this is what these guys do. I haven't dealt with one of these guys in a minute, but this is what these guys do. Like they run around the internet trying to get more content, right? And that's really what he came up here for. And that's fine because it gets our names out and they think they talk a certain way no one's coming to see, but he's going to get me more views. But if you notice, even that comes from, in my opinion, a subordinate position. He's coming here to get content from me, and I'm a woman, right? I didn't run to his page to talk to him and make a fake argument and then say, should I review this? Right? It's not how it works. He came here to start an argument. Right. He came here to get an argument. So he has content. So again, men that are constantly taking from women, I cannot respect you, sir. And this is why you get shamed, because you should be shamed. This is why. But anyway, throw a 1 in the chat if you want to do a part 2, because we really didn't get into the meat and taters, and I wanted to get into the meat and taters of our Black men proving the Black community is matriarchal. I mean, we had one come up that did, but I want to have a more in-depth conversation. So if you want to see part 2, like we did with the religion thing, I will be more than happy. D says 1, Tova says 1, Tyrone says 1. We will do a part 2.
This was like an
Misty says
appetizer.
1 for real, because we have to get into this, because oh my God, the freaking jewels that would drop tonight. I swear this is like school. I love when men just man. Does that make sense? I love when men man. I love it. It really,
Me too.
because it's a lost art. So when I see it, I freaking praise it. I appreciate it. I salute it, gentlemen. Really, I'm proud of what I'm doing here, because I always get the best people coming up, and like attracts alike, iron sharpens iron. And I'm just proud. I'm proud when men come up here, and I mean, look at the men on the banner. You know what I mean? It puts me back to that feeling I had when my dad walked in, you know what I mean? And it was like, and the steak was on the table, you know what I'm saying? And then he kept growing and growing and growing. And, you know, mama didn't have to tell us, he gets the big piece of chicken. We didn't even go in the damn kitchen. We was like, did dad finish eating? Can we go in? All right, so everybody wants a part 2. So everybody that's watching, please, there are 50 people watching. Hit that like and subscribe. If you want to come up, even people that came up today, even if you want to come up for part 2, please do. If you're watching this and you're like, damn, I wish I was there because I could have said blah, blah, blah. Well, come back for part 2. Follow all my people on the panel. That is how we support. So last question, guys. When do you think we should do part 2? Do you want to do it tomorrow?
Let's do it next week.
Let's do it next week.
Next week? So what are we going to do tomorrow?
We'll figure out something.
We'll figure out something this Saturday.
I think we should like lighten it up for tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You punks. All right. I'm like, come on. I'm ready to fight again.
You're always ready for a damn fight.
Take off my fucking gloves. Damn it.
But you know, like to your point, Jen, and like, you know, C. Trey, he said there was a waste of 11 minutes.
Yeah, my bad.
No, but no. I'm saying like the young guy, you know, it wasn't a waste because it showed a result of kind of what possibly can happen when you have, you know, well, a matriarchal system, and it's not like a guy who's really congruent in following that, right? Because you look at these other cultures where it's matriarchal system and the guys are congruent in following that, everybody's happy, right? It's a lack of congruence that's causing a problem. And this is what the result is a lack of congruence, where he's like, I want this, but I want this. I don't want this, but I don't want that. And it's like, well, yeah, you're all twisted up. And that's why you're this argumentative, emotional, like holding your face and, you know, gyrating on the camera. It's like, yeah, this is what happens. You're off center. You don't have a center, right? It's very soft, right? So I think it was good to have that example. I think, you know, just to show.
Listen, Exhibit A, and I want to say this. I do, when we come back for part 2, I want to explore, because we are talking about a matriarchal system, right? And in those tribes and those other countries, the men fall in line. I noticed even with Team Fatty, it sounded to me like if someone spoke to him nicely, he'd be a better subordinate, right? So is it that women, maybe we're ruling with an iron fist and men want to bend over for us, but we're asking them in a harsh way? I mean, that's
you gotta be a little softer with it.
Yes, like maybe instead of like, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? You don't pay the bills here. You don't tell me what to do. Maybe it's more like, no, babe, remember who pays the bills.
So bend over.
And then you make like a PB&J with the crust cut off.
Well, you got a lot of dudes that are insecure, but they still want pimp and player status.
That's right.
They're
no,
very
sir.
No. Yeah.
No.
Like that.
No. If you're gonna be my little bitch, have my Apple Jacks ready for me when I walk in, and that's that's what we're doing.
Right?
Thank you for the super chat, Congo English. Congo English says, great point, C-Lay Trey. All right, guys. So, C-Lay Trey, I would love to have you back next week so you can elaborate further on the topic. Thank you, chat, for holding me down with your crazy asses. I'm sorry for the people that it's so hard to say goodbye. To all the people I had to block today, serves you right. You should have watched your chicken wing holes. Thank you so much, everyone that joined us tonight. No Saint, you have something to say.
Well, I just want to close out. First of all, C-Lay Trey said something and made kind of a prediction for 2028. I wasn't sure what that was. He said it was almost like a prophecy. So I'm kind of curious on what he was saying there. And bonobos are a matriarchal system in the wild. And Jen, I love your buttons. Just letting you know.
And on that note, Saint, in the private chat, I put a link to an article about 6 matriarchal societies and like how they're situated.
Because I was going to bring up some things from the but I'll bring them up about the tribes in Africa that when they don't have suitable mates, the women marry each other. No homo, they just marry each other to continue the bloodline going because they like, okay, we can't get the protector provider, fuck it, move to the side and we're going to make shit happen. So I'm going to talk about that on the next one.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Let's do it
What I
Tuesday.
said 2028.
You said Tuesday?
Yeah, let's do it Tuesday. Whatever you're about to say right now, please hold that for Tuesday.
All right. So Tuesday then. All right, guys, this was freaking awesome. I love you. And don't fucking come up here and tell me who I'm not gonna give cooch to. Leave me alone. Because stoicism turns me on, bitch. Don't tell me who I'm fucking not fuck.
But if you said me, you'd probably be right. So.
Yeah. Now if you said no say, I ain't got it.
You know we don't do pink meat around here.
I don't do pink meat, baby. Sorry. All right, guys. Good night.
Thank you for having me. Good night.
Thank you, Dolores. Please come back.
Nice meeting you,
All right,
Dolores.
guys.
I will.
All right, guys. If you are still here, please hit that like and subscribe for Mama. I appreciate you all so much. This was good. It gets the blood pumping. We get to arguing. We get to learning things. And at the end of the day, sincerely, I want the best for everybody. But certain behaviors trigger certain behaviors, right? No one deserves to be abused or be talked down to or shamed. But it's easier said than done when women are frustrated. We have forked tongues. I just say be the best you can be so you're not worried about who's treating you badly. When you're at your best, you're not putting up with shit. Okay. And that's not gender specific. So if you're a man that feels like she's shaming me, she making me feel bad, get your shit in order. Same thing with the women. Thank you so much. Salute to you. Thank you, chat, for holding me down. Good night. Be good. And if you can't be good, be careful. Tell people about On the Block with Jen. You can reach me on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Good night, loves. And I'm out.